This semester, I participated in a study abroad program based out of the beautiful Paris, France. The cultural experience has affected me immensely, and I've become somewhat of a Parisian in a unique kind of way. The program that I am in has placed us in La Défense, the economic capital of Paris. Since we are just outside of the city, we experience a different side of Paris than if we were to live in the middle of the madness. I was lucky enough to be placed with one of the best groups of people you could ask for in an abroad program, and we have become somewhat of a family. Our living conditions have really taught me to adapt to an uncomfortable environment, and it almost felt like a freshman year again. Even the food was different, and not in a bad way. Baguettes are a necessity, and I don't think that there is anywhere you can go back home to buy a waffle in a vending machine. The produce is some of the best in the world, and you really start to understand why the food is so much better. Much more traditional cooking goes on instead of fast food, and we even got to participate in a Parisian cooking class. I've never lived in a big city before, so it was very different for me to see all the street performers, and it really keeps you aware that the lower class is out there.
C'est elle aussi qui m'écoutait quand s'en venait la mélancolie, sans que je n'ai rien à demander. C'est elle qui savait me consoler, et pourtant elle est partie, celle que j'aime, la belle Hélène.
Along with the street performers come the homeless, and you have to learn how to accept that you're going to see these people everywhere. These are both things that I would never see at home in Clemson, South Carolina. The drinking age has a large influence on the culture as well, as the bars are full of younger people much more than at home, and the atmosphere is much different than in America. I've also noticed that people don't go as crazy with alcohol, and you see it everywhere, especially because you're allowed to drink in the streets. It's a much more relaxed feeling. If you haven't noticed, I'm all for the younger age restriction. Even the buildings and history in the city affects the culture. The people here have a much different sense of pride and patriotism, as you can see in the buildings how the city has slowly become what it is now and what it is shaping to be in the future. There is nowhere that you can walk at home and see people casually hanging out at a building that is almost 1,000 years old. One of the Parisians' favorite people, as I have noticed, is Napoleon Bonaparte. He is a hero of France and has shaped the country and city into what it is today, and they even have some of the same pride and people issues that he was said to have in his time. There are so many things that you see here on an everyday basis that you wouldn't see anywhere else. Electric cars for public use, outdoor public restrooms, or water closets, as they say. Even the style of clothes and accessories is much different, and I'm not sure I've ever seen military personnel casually walking the streets with assault rifles before, which is a very common sight here. One of my favorite parts about the big city is the public transportation, specifically the Paris Metro. I've been on 5 metro systems so far, and Paris still has the best one. The Paris Metro is extremely efficient and about as convenient as it gets. If you ever get lost, you just walk straight until you find a metro and you know that it's not going to be hard to get home. Not only in France, but all of Europe, soccer is a huge sport, and the daily attitudes of people and establishments can greatly differ depending on if there's a match that day or if the team has recently won or lost. I also had the opportunity to witness a Liverpool game, which was one of the most intense and exciting things I've ever experienced. In conclusion, the culture of Paris has really changed my outlook on things, and even the way that I act in a sense. I now know how to deal with the most rude people in the world, and I have no problem just telling someone no, regardless of how nice or convincing they may seem. I have a much better appreciation of truly good food, and I now know what good wine and beer is supposed to taste like. I understand the sense of pride that such a deep history can instill, and the way that a city can shape its people. I couldn't have asked for a better, more genuine experience than what Paris has given me, and I hope that I may come back here again within my lifetime. Thank you, Clemson and Paris, for the opportunity that I have been granted, and I will remember this experience for a lifetime.